When people hear the word refugee, most of them think about loss. Lost countries, lost homes, and lost stability. But the older I get, the more I feel like refugee stories are about something else too. They're about what people refuse to let disappear. Hello everyone, my name is Youngtse, and today I'm going to deliver a speech called Hope Across Himalaya and Freedom Behind It. Hope, for many refugee families, is more than just optimism. For them, sometimes it becomes survival. Growing up in a Tibetan refugee family, I realized that stories of sacrifice, separation, and journey are way too common in our community. It is like almost every family carries a story that has quietly shaped the generation after them. Some left searching for freedom, some for safety, some for opportunity, and some simply wanted the right to become who they were. My father was 10 years old when he and Ma Akula crossed Himalaya from Tibet into Nepal. They were born during a time shaped by cultural revolution, when even belief was not always a choice. As children, instead of attending schools like we, they used to work in fields. Unfortunately, that's where Ma'akula met a Rinpoche, someone who was once a spiritual teacher but was forced to live like a layman. And still, he taught, not loudly, not openly, but quietly, carefully, and enough to change a life. After meeting him, my uncle decided that he wanted to become a monk. But where he lived, in Tibet, that wasn't a choice he was allowed to make. So instead, they made a harder one, to leave Tibet. At bare age of 10 and 13, they crossed Himalayas and entered Nepal without even knowing whether they would ever make it. And I think that those are the moments that we forget. We summarize or reduce them into a very one basic sentence, that they cross mountains. But we forget that behind this sentence are human, are actually children who had no idea whether they would ever see their family again. And one day, you suddenly realize that too, that no child should have to leave their home to have the freedom to become who they are. We have forgotten that refugee stories are about humans before anything else, before politics, before history, and before headlines. They began with human moments. A family deciding whether to stay, a child leaving home, someone accepting uncertainty because it still feels better than losing themselves. Leaving a home is not just about leaving a place. It means leaving things that once felt normal, like your childhood, your language, and the people who you love. And even after leaving their home, they still hold on to things that we can't really say, like those invisible things like memories, traditions, culture, and their childhood. And sometimes those invisible things are the easiest one to lose. Like tradition can fade across generation, language can slowly disappear, even memory can feel distant over time. And that's why stories matter, because stories are one of ways that people hold on to who they are. Stories have the power to shape who people become. Because my uncle was not searching for comfort, rather he was searching for the freedom to become who he was. And today, he is leading a simple life as a monk in Nepal, living happily with risks he took and life he chose. And maybe keeping a culture doesn't always have to happen in big manner. Maybe it can start with simple tasks as listening. Listening to stories that our parents and grandparents almost stopped telling. And maybe that's what hope is. Not wishing for an easier life, but refusing to let something meaningful disappear. And the least we can do as the younger generation Tibetans is not to let those precious stories of our parents and grandparents disappear. Thank you.